When I first started practicing Zen, this goes back quite a number of years, I had this idea that when you practiced long enough, your anger would dissipate. And I remember I had been practicing, well, let's say officially, about 4 or 5 years before I met Zen Master Bon Soeng, that gentleman up there, who is our founding teacher here at Empty Gate and in the Quantum School of Zen that we're a part of. And in many ways, when I met Zen Master Bon Soeng, he fit his aliveness, his freedom, really spoke to me. More than, his words drew me in, but his expression of his life was quite remarkable to me and something that I wanted some of. But a little piece of the shadow of Zen Master Bon Soeng is that he could get angry. And I remember him talking about it. And he would say things like, you can make a judgment about whether anger is good or bad. I'm paraphrasing a lot. He wouldn't have spoken quite like this. He said, but you don't understand my anger. If you hold things in the conventional sense, then somebody spits at me, I get angry. But Zen Master Bon Soeng would talk about what he called Bodhisattva Anger. He would say, whatever your expression is, the question is, why do that? If you're coming from that place of anger because I'm mad at you because you disrespected me, that's, we might call it karmic anger, and usually that leads to more anger, more despair really, and a kind of violent world that we live in. But he said there was a kind of anger, this bodhisattva anger, would mean for all beings. So my anger might look just the same as Koke's. But if he's angry because he was disrespected and that just exploded in them. But I might be angry I might be using my anger to point something out. Maybe this guy needed to wake up. And the anger that I'm expressing is not so much because I'm pissed, but because I'm helping you. Now with anger, that's a really delicate, fine line. Often we think we're doing it to help you, but we're really doing it because you crossed me and I'm angry. So we really have to work with the motivation. We have to understand the way we reify this sense of I and self and then defend it. So, to think of bodhisattva anger, you probably go back and, the easiest way to illustrate this is a parent working with a child. The classic example is the child starts to run across the road and you shout and you catch that child's attention and they stop. So, yeah, you may be angry, but your motivation is to help this child. So, in Zen practice, we're always curious about and working with motivation. What is it that leads to this event? And we try to become aware and clear. Is the anger for me or for you? If it's for you and there's not too much trace of me, that anger may be quite helpful. But if it's for me because I am so angry, then ultimately that anger is going to turn back around and it's going to land in my heart. And that's not to say we shouldn't do it. It's just to learn from the experience that we're having. Zen practice talks a lot about gaining wisdom. We gain wisdom by seeing what's happened and learning from our experience.